So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining today's session titled The Purpose of PaCE and Resources Available to Schools. My name is Jasmine Jetton-Gonzales, and I am with the Illinois Student Assistance Commission, one of the 60 by 25 network organizers. Before we begin, we want to gauge where everyone is joining us from and get to know you all just a little bit. So please type in the chat your name, your organization or school, what town you're joining us from. And we've added an interesting fun fact about yourself. So please also include your favorite thing to do to decompress. While you all are putting that in the chat, I'll give you all a couple of minutes and I will share. I already introduced myself, so I'll just mention one of my favorite things to decompress is reading. I used to not like to read so much, but lately I have really enjoyed reading books around social justice. Thank you all for participating and sending those through the chat. I'll now pass it on to Anna to introduce herself and also start us off.
Thank you, Jasmine. So hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us again. My name is Moya, and I'm just going to go ahead and walk through this portion. So my name is Moya. I am from the Illinois Student Assistance Commission. I am joining you guys from Maywood in Illinois. And my favorite thing to do to decompress is probably mindless scrolling through TikTok. I know it's not the best, but if I need to decompress, that's my go-to for sure. And we're gonna go ahead and get started with our session today. Oh, sorry. So for the agenda for today, we're gonna go through a quick and very brief overview of the post-secondary career expectations framework. Anytime I use PaCE, I'm referring to this framework, the post-secondary career expectations framework. Then we're going to get into the new resources on PaCE, and lastly is going to be PaCE support. With the overview of PaCE and getting started with the overview of PaCE, the first thing to know that this is going to be the framework. The framework is a complete framework that helps students. It's like a roadmap for students to get through high school, all the way from middle school, all the way to high school, learning about different topics that would help them make the most informed decision for life after high school. Sorry about that, guys. So it'll help them make the most informed decision for life after high school. So the framework is a very complete framework. The one that you guys see on your screen, this is what we call the Illinois PaCE framework. We're going to walk through some support options for PaCE in a minute, where you'll see that there are different options for the PaCE framework. But this one specifically is the Illinois PaCE framework. This is going to be the framework that has been adopted by the 4 state educational agencies. And these are going to be all of the components within the PaCE framework. So if you're not familiar with it, the first thing that you will notice that is it is broken up from by grade level, and it extends from 8th grade all the way to 12th grade. We find that extending it to the lower grade level of 8th grade, we find that everything that needs to happen in regards to preparing for life after high school doesn't just happen in high school. If you extend it all the way to 8th grade, by extending it all the way to 8th grade, we're reaching students at a much younger age, and they're gaining critical information that will help them transition into high school and start making some of those decisions as they're getting closer to graduating high school. So it goes from 8th grade to 12th grade. This is also helpful because if you are working at a high school, this helps you build a partnership with the middle school, especially those high schools who are at a larger district where there's multiple feeding middle schools. This really helps you connect with that middle school so that when the students are getting into your high school, they're more prepared. The second thing that you're going to notice from the framework is that it is broken up by two categories. One grade level is broken up by 3 categories. The two categories that every grade level is broken up by is a student should be supported to. These are going to be activities that the high school or the school, if it's the middle school, should be supporting the student to do. This could be through activities, this could be through lessons, this could be through presentations. So the school would be supporting the student to complete those benchmarks. A student should know these are going to be benchmarks that is as an outcome of what the student should be doing. It's going to be an outcome of that. That's a really nice thing throughout the entire framework, is that if there is a benchmark that a student should know, more than likely there's going to be a benchmark on the above category a student should be supported to that would help facilitate that the student should know that term. And then the last category that one of the grade levels, which is going to be the 12th grade level, is going to have is a student should have. A student should have, these are going to be benchmarks that are time-sensitive benchmarks, like complete a financial aid application or complete an admissions application. These are going to be items that, depending on how the journey that the student is choosing to take, they will need to complete this in a timely manner, because as we know, there are deadlines for those two things. All of the benchmarks are going to be color coded with what we call domains. With the domains is going to be the following. You're going to see on your bottom right corner of your screen, we have the 3 domains. The first one is going to be career exploration and development. That's going to be the yellow circle. The second one is going to be post-secondary education, exploration, preparation, and selection. That's going to be the green circle. And then the red one is going to be financial aid and literacy. That's going to be the red circle. And this is every grade level is going to have benchmarks that are from every domain, so that, again, you're reaching the students with critical information from different domains so that they can make that informed decision. The nice thing about the framework itself is that it was built to support some of the initiatives already taking place in the state that schools have to complete. So this is so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel, you don't have to work harder. A lot of these things are already taking place because you're either already working on other initiatives, or if you are implementing the PaCE framework, it'll help you implement all of the other initiatives as well. So this is what we call a crosswalk. We have it on the back of the Illinois PaCE framework. And this is just so that you can make the connections between what elements of PaCE help support or fully support other, again, state initiatives. The first one being ISB's college and career readiness indicators. So if you are in the process of kind of brainstorming how you're going to be implementing how to help your students meet the CCRIs, then you can look into the PaCE framework, because some of the benchmarks within the PaCE framework either meet or help completely meet that CCRI, or it helps support that CCRI. And it's going to be the same thing with college and career pathway endorsements, or CCPEs. There are benchmarks in the Illinois PaCE framework that also help either meet or support CCPEs. So that was our brief overview. I mentioned it was going to be a very brief overview of the Illinois PaCE framework, because we really want to give you guys some of the resources. And some of the newer resources on PaCE from the Illinois Student Assistance Commission are going to be the following. The first one that we're really excited about is going to be the PaCE implementation guide. This is something that it has been up on our website as of late of last year. And not a lot of people are aware of it. This is going to be the newest offering. It is a complete guide. It's in the on a digital format. And what it does is that it provides an extensive guidance on how to adopt and also implement the Illinois PaCE framework, or your own PaCE framework as well. It walks professionals, anyone who is interested, it walks them through how to adopt the PaCE framework, how to help build understanding with stakeholders. If you are someone who wants to implement a PaCE framework and you don't know where to start, you don't know who to recruit, or even how to get that conversation started, it has tips for that. It walks you through it as well. It walks the user through developing a plan for implementation, how to execute the implementation plan, and then lastly, the best practices for how to build a team of stakeholders so that you can have that support with implementing your PaCE framework. So again, this is going to be one of our newest offerings. It is the complete guide. And it's just going to be a really nice tool to start laying out if you don't know, again, where to start with implementing PaCE, or even want to have more information on what PaCE is. This is going to be a complete guide for that. Then our second new support option that we have is going to be within Gap Access. If you guys are familiar with Gap Access, Gap Access is our gift assistance program. This is going to be an online portal. It does multiple things. It helps schools with multiple things. It's a tool from ISAT. But the one I want to mention here is that if you're from a high school, whether that be a private high school or a public high school, and you have access to Gap Access, you're able to, on your profile, have this new or identify as the help. It helps you identify what framework you are adopting. So the menu is going to be on the school demographic section on Gap Access, if you guys, again, are familiar with it. And this is where you'll get to document whether you are or whether you have adopted a framework. So this is going to help with this helps us on ISAC side identify those schools who are in the process of implementing, whether that be the Illinois PaCE framework, their own customized framework, or another framework that's helping them it's being the roadmap for the work that you guys are doing at the school. It helps us identify you guys and then reach out to see how it is that we can help you with the implementation of it or the supports available for it. And this is what it's going to look like on Gap Access. So again, you're going to see on the school profile side, you're going to, on the top left-hand corner, you're going to be able to see your school profile. And then on the right-hand side, you're going to see, if you have now logged into Gap Access in a minute, you're going to see that it is asking you to identify what you are adopting. So the question says, is your school currently implementing or using a college and career readiness plan? Select one from the drop-down menu. So it's asking you other college and career readiness plans. Identify that if that is the case. The Illinois PaCE framework, a customized PaCE online framework, or none. You do have the option in case you're not adopting the Illinois PaCE. If you're not adopting any college and career readiness plan, it gives you the option to select none. Again, we'll be able to then go into this list and be able to see what schools, if you're implementing the Illinois PaCE framework, maybe we can reach out to you to see or offer you some of our new support options that we're going to have available, or any resources available to you all. If you have the customized PaCE online framework, we can follow up with you to see if there are any, again, anything that we can help you with. Remember, as you're going through your school profile, don't forget to save once you've identified what it is that you are implementing. All right, then we're gonna get into the PaCE support. So for those of you guys who are joining us and you guys are already implementing a framework, whether that be the Illinois PaCE framework or your customized framework, this is really gonna be the nicest thing ever, because especially with this PaCE support, we have a ton of resources at ISAC that aligns and help students meet the benchmarks within most of the framework, the Illinois PaCE framework. So with getting with PaCE support, first we're going to go through the support options from the agency. So with the Illinois PaCE website, this is going to be the biggest source of support for all professionals, because we have all of our materials on there. We have all of our materials, we have resources, we have including from our PD staff here at ISAC, how to access them as well. So we have examples of customized frameworks. We have the description of PaCE. This is going to be really helpful, again, if you're trying to get started with the Illinois PaCE framework or just adopting a PaCE framework and you want to have someone become more familiar so that to build buy-in, the website is going to be your best friend. We have all of the implementation supports available, and then upcoming webinars as well. We're going to go through the list of the upcoming webinars, and then also one thing that's not included on here, but we have its own slide, is going to be the PaCE Symposium too. With the PaCE support request form, this is going to be to request any ISAC support options that we have available. It's going to be available again through our website, so isac.org/PaCE. It'll be there. It'll have the request form. And the really nice thing, that one of the newest upgrades that we've done is that you no longer have to mail that request form in. As long as you complete it on our website, we get that information, then we reach out to you. And just know, one note, something to note, that all PaCE support and training offerings are being held virtually at the moment. So if you do reach out for support, we're able to accommodate it virtually. We've been able to shift everything virtually, especially with our support options for schools. With the PaCE implementation support, this is going to be our one of our newer offerings as of last year. What this is going to be a series of 3 one-hour meetings with us at ISAC, and then we meet with the school or the district depending on how big the framework is being implemented. As we're going through these meetings, we're going to work with the implementation team to help you guys understand how to complete our worksheets that we have available to help the implementation process. So the worksheets that we have available are going to be the taken inventory, prioritize gaps, and action plan worksheets. These are going to be step 1, 2, and 3 for implementing your PaCE framework. With these 3 support options, every meeting is going to focus on one of the steps for implementation. So the first meeting focuses on taking an inventory. We walk our teams through best practices for taking an inventory. Then we get to prioritizing gaps. During prioritizing gaps, we start to show you some of the resources that you guys are going to see here. And then lastly, it's going to be action planning. And again, we walk your teams through how to go through action planning. And then we follow up after to see how your implementation team is doing and if there's any supports available that we can help you with. Upon completion of the meetings, what you guys will be able to do is that you guys are going to be equipped to continue with the implementation of your framework. And again, whether that be PaCE, the Illinois PaCE, or a PaCE aligned framework. With the other thing that I mentioned from our website is going to be our PaCE symposium. So we're super excited, Jasmine and myself, we're super excited. We have been putting together the 2022 Illinois PaCE symposium. This is going to be the first PaCE symposium. This is going to be taking place on Thursday, April 21st. Registration will be opening soon, so keep an eye on our website. We have the link on the screen as well. It's going to be a 1-day symposium that's going to help you learn about strengthening post-secondary readiness efforts, meeting educators who have implemented PaCE, and then share implementation efforts that support students. This is going to be a symposium where, you know, like most of our PaCE offerings are us at ISAC putting together resources and supports, and then we come and present it to you all. The nice thing about the PaCE symposium is that it's going to be sessions that are all from other educators, educators on who have been working on implementing PaCE, educators who have gone through putting together events for students. So it's going to be a really nice PaCE symposium, and the nice thing is that it's going to be all external. So it's going to be people who are going to be on the ground, who have experience with the implementation of PaCE. They're going to be going through what's been working, what hasn't worked, and even the nice thing, I know a lot of people who have been working towards implementing the Illinois PaCE framework. The feedback that we've gotten is that through COVID, navigating that has been a little bit different. So you guys are going to be hearing from those professionals and how they've been navigating the process itself before pre-COVID and then during COVID as well. For upcoming webinar opportunities, these are going to be just PaCE related. So if you go on our website, we do have on isac.org/PaCE/webinars. We'll have a complete calendar with our PaCE offerings. So every semester we put together some offerings to the public. The first one that we're going to have is going to be on March 23rd. It's going to be the PaCE overview. It's going to be similar to this, but we go much more in depth than what we did here on getting started with PaCE. With the background of PaCE, we also start to take a deeper look into the 3 implementation steps, and then lastly we go over some resources as well. Then we have the PaCE implementation leader training that's taking place on the 13th of April at noon, and with the PaCE implementation leader training, it just is kind of a much deeper look into from the PaCE overview. This is going to be a 2-hour training. It goes much deeper into the implementation process. We really start to get into the almost very close to what our PaCE implementation supports are. It really starts to look into those 3 steps, best practices, what they are, how to complete them. And then it also gets goes very much into the background of PaCE, and also how to start building all of your teams. If you're customizing your own PaCE framework, how to get started with that, with your framework development team, sorry, and then also with your PaCE implementation team. So it's gonna be a 2-hour training, a lot of information. If you guys want to register for it, just go on our website. Then we also have available on our website the Illinois PaCE student checklist. This is going to be a checklist that corresponds with the PaCE benchmarks. It is written in student-friendly language, so it's really nice, like financial aid. It breaks it up into money, so students know that this is going to be about how to find money for college. So it's a super student-friendly checklist. It is designed to help students to prepare them for life after high school. If you are implementing the Illinois PaCE framework and you need, or you have been looking for a tool to give to students, you can give the students these checklists. It's broken up by grade level, so you're able to, if you're working with 8th graders, you can just give them that checklist, and it's going to be a really nice tool for them to know what is expected of them, what they should be learning. The feedback that we've gotten with the PaCE student checklist is that parents do love it as well. Sometimes parents don't know how to support their students, and this is a checklist that lets them know exactly what is expected and what's going to be the best way for them to prepare for life after high school. So if you guys are interested in the PaCE student checklist, you're able to go on our website and then just download it by grade level. We also have the College Changes Everything campaign. So the College Changes Everything campaign is a campaign to encourage students to complete their college and financial aid applications by receiving additional support. So in order for your school to participate, or your organization to participate in the College Changes Everything campaign, you're able to do so by completing an outreach request form. On the outreach request form, you have to indicate that you're going to be conducting 1 college application workshop and also 1 financial aid completion workshop. With this, you're able to, with the College Changes Everything campaign, if you are conducting both workshops, you're able to also request additional assistance from ISAT through an ISAT Core member, and Jasmine's going to go through what ISAT Core members are if you guys are not familiar with that in a minute. The nice thing about the College Changes Everything campaign, and this is where we start to see what benchmarks our resources start to cover. The College Changes Everything campaign, if you participate in this campaign and you're also requesting assistance from an ISAT Core member to conduct these, the nice thing is that you don't have to facilitate them if you're requesting that ISAT member support. It covers or helps support some of the PaCE benchmarks already. So attended a FAFSA completion workshop, that's going to be at the 12th grade benchmark from the Illinois PaCE framework. Completed the FAFSA, and then also complete 3 or more admissions applications to post-secondary institutions. So if you are participating in this, it'll help you facilitate those workshops for your students. Therefore, it'll help them meet those benchmarks. Then we have the FAFSA completion initiative. Not only does the FAFSA completion initiative and the supports that we have available for it help you, it doesn't just help you with helping your students meet some of the benchmarks, it also helps you with the other requirements. So the ISAT completion initiative we offer is to assist high schools with identifying students who have not completed a FAFSA or the alternative application. And this is going to be in the gift assistance program, Capex as well. So it's a resource for Illinois high schools to keep track of their students' financial application rates, but also it gives them the ability to track the students' activities, which can help support with the FAFSA mandate requirement. This specific resource helps with completed the FAFSA. If you're identifying your students, you're identifying the students who need additional support with financial aid application. If you see that on their file, they haven't filed a FAFSA or an alternative application, that's an indicator that you should be reaching out and then having or providing that additional support for students. Maybe they're not even aware that they should be completing that form. So this is a really nice resource for you to help you identify, just because we know, like, with self-reporting, if the student's reporting whether they completed a FAFSA or not, it can get a little tricky. So Gap Access helps you with that. And this is going to be what that tool looks like on Gap Access. So again, it'll help you track the FAFSA or alternative application. And now one of the newest offerings with Gap Access is that it also lets you identify whether the student completed an opt-out waiver. So if you are working with a student who is not for whatever reason doesn't want to complete the FAFSA or alternative application, and you want to make sure that they are meeting that graduation requirement, and they completed an opt-out form, you're able to track this. As of last year, you can use the ISAT roster, download the roster from Gap Access, and this will be sufficient to meet that ISB compliance. If you have any questions about Gap Access, whether that be the tool I showed you all earlier with identifying whether you have implemented one of a PaCE framework or the Illinois PaCE framework, that new tool, anything Gap Access related, you can contact Mary Lewis. Her contact information is going to be on the screen. Then we have ISAT Transcript Exchange. This is going to be a tool that helps you with the online process for sharing transcript information for Illinois students. It is going to be a service that's free to Illinois high schools. In order to participate or learn more, you do have to contact Lenore Smith. So if you're one of those high schools who, for whatever reason, you're still mailing in your students' transcript, this is going to be a free tool to you all that you have access to, so that you can send in those transcripts electronically. This is just a super nice tool during COVID. You don't have to go into the office, go into the school to mail in those forms. You're able to do that from the ISAT Transcript Exchange platform. What this does, it helps support the benchmark of complete 3 or more admissions applications to post-secondary institutions. If this is going to be one of the things that's keeping the students from completing those applications or even meeting that admissions piece of it, this will help support the student with that. Then, Jasmine, I can't remember, am I handing this off to you at this slide or the next one?
The next one.
Okay.
After the next one. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Then we have the Illinois High School to Career. If you are looking for information that's specifically for your students on Illinois data, real data, this tool and the tool we're going to see next are going to be your best friends. So Illinois High School to Career is going to be very similar to the tool that we're going to see next, but I just want to really point out the differences. This tool helps with your students with getting information about the post-secondary education choices that they have by degree type. It gives them information about academic area of study and also career outcomes. It's going to be a really nice tool, just because if you go on this tool, it's not just going to be careers that need education. You can go on there and literally see all of the careers, even those that don't require education. They're able to use the tool, compare the data. So it's a really great tool. And the nice thing about it, like I say, this is real information. This is true information to the Illinois residents. So it's going to be a complete tool that they get to explore their careers and not just careers that require education. If you are using these tools with your students, it helps meet or support some of the following benchmark. Complete a unit on education planning, complete 1 or 2 career clusters for further exploration and development, educational requirements, cost, expected entry level, and midpoint salary for occupations and selected career pathways. And this is going to be, again, Illinois PaCE benchmarks. So you can start to see this resource really hits on a lot of benchmarks. Then next one that we have is going to be Illinois College to Career. This one's going to be a little bit different. The other one focuses on any career post high school. This one focuses on careers and data post college. So this would require the student to see what would it take if I'm going to choose this career in college. What are going to be the outcomes? Again, this is going to be specific data to the state of Illinois, and this is going to be for all 2-year and 4-year institutions, public institutions here in with information from those institutions here in Illinois. So the student is able to get information about career outcomes, costs associated with those careers, financial aid that's going to be needed for those careers, graduation rates, and then student debt as well. For this specific tool, this is going to help with meeting or supporting some of the following benchmarks: educational, knowing the educational requirements, cost, expected entry level and midpoint salary, knowing how career pathway courses and experiences articulate to degree programs or post-secondary options, and lastly, knowing the affordability of post-secondary options in relation to expected entry level career and salary and anticipated debt as well. All right, I'm gonna hand things over to Jasmine now.
Oh, thank you, Anna. Let me just get myself situated on my side. Oh. Okay. Thanks, Anna. So another resource that is available to help schools implement some of these PaCE benchmarks is the College Scorecard tool. So that can be found on the ISAT student portal, or also it's accessible for students through the My Student Aid app. This tool was developed by the U.S. Department of Education, and it compares institutions and degree programs by cost of attendance, graduation rates, and average salaries after graduation. This tool helps students know the facts to help them make smarter decisions about which college and degree program is right for them. This tool helps support some of the following PaCE benchmarks, among others, including know different types of post-secondary credentials and institutions, that's in the 10th grade, know the general cost ranges of various post-secondary options, that's in the 9th grade, and know the educational requirement, cost, expected entry level, and midpoint salary for occupations in selected career pathways, which is in the 10th grade. Moving on, the Illinois Postsecondary Profiles, or IPP, is a resource that provides a way to view numerous types of postsecondary data from local agencies. It's all in one place. It does enable users to follow their interest and easily locate data they want to dive deeper in and quickly navigate among different visualizations. So this tool does provide users with 3 distinct but integrated avenues for viewing and interacting with the data. Based on their needs and interests, users can choose to search for relevant data by accessing institutional profiles, which enables users to search for and filter through and compare post-secondary institutions in Illinois using a variety of criteria, including institution type, credentials offered, and cost. It also does have occupational profiles. This helps users explore post-secondary data through the lens of career pathways and academic majors, making it possible for them to view key employment data, associated programs of study, and the Illinois institutions that offer related certificate and degree programs. The last kind of profile that it has is the equity profiles, which displays data about the post-secondary experiences and outcomes of different groups of people in Illinois. Whichever type of profile students decide to explore using the tool, it provides students with in-depth information, either on career pathway that they're interested in, the institutions they're interested in, or data according to the demographic of students. So the Illinois Postsecondary Profile tool can help support or meet the following PaCE benchmarks. Some of those, it's a lot, so I'll only name a few. Some of those include completing a unit on educational planning, which is in the 9th grade, visit at least 3 post-secondary institutions, that is in the 11th grade, complete an orientation to career clusters, that's in the 9th grade, know the general cost ranges of various post-secondary options, that's in the 9th grade, know the estimated cost of each post-secondary option, that's in the 12th grade. And the last one I'll mention, and I didn't really choose, I'm just kind of going through some, but know the affordability of post-secondary options in relation to expected entry level career salary and anticipated depth, which is in the 12th grade. Now focusing on Illinois WorkNet. So this is an online platform that was funded by a grant from the U.S. Department of Labor's Employment and Training Administration. So this tool offers a wide variety of resources from skills and interest surveys, career and job searching, resume and cover letter building, and career exploration. The picture you're seeing that's on the screen is one of the different guides that are available on the website. So some that I'll highlight because I have many, so I'll only highlight a couple. The resume builder. So here, a student or the user because you can also use it post college, or I still go in there and look at it. Here, the user can browse sample resumes to select and edit their own information, or they can also build a resume from a combination of different resumes by using the browse section sets option that allows them to browse sections of resumes like education or work experience, and building their resume from multiple different resumes. I absolutely love it. So I really push this one. They can also create a resume from scratch. Once they have completed and edited their resume, they can go ahead and save it to their laptop and download it. So that's also great because they don't have to access the account. They can also download it to their computer. If you go into resume builder section, you'll also see that they have more tools to help one practice their interview skills, but providing them with sample interview questions and tips on how to answer those questions, which I thought was also pretty cool. It also has other tools to help students create a cover letter or admissions portfolio for students to showcase academic, research, and extracurricular contributions to appeal to an admissions committee if they're asked to. They also have a list of skills and interest inventory surveys. One of them is called the Career Cluster Inventory. This does ask students to rate 80 activities on whether they like activities very much, simply, dislike, or not sure. So some of the examples that are included in that career cluster inventory include plan and harvest crops. Do you like to answer phones, schedule appointments, file documents? Do you like to teach or provide advice to students? Things like that. Once they're done rating the activities on how much they like them, it will provide a graph indicating how well their interests match up to each career cluster area. From that graph, each career cluster area is linked to their own page that provides further information on that career cluster, and it includes information on occupations, programs of study, pathways, and other information specific to that career cluster. This assessment helps students get a broad sense of career fields they may be interested in that they could further explore to see if any careers pique their interest. So this is a few or a peek of what resources you can find on the Illinois WorkNet. But there's so many that you can go in there and check out. Overall, the Illinois WorkNet has many resources and it hits a lot of the PaCE benchmarks. Some of the PaCE benchmarks that this resource helps meet or supports. Again, I'll just name a few instead of reading the entire list, but these include complete a career cluster survey, which is in the 8th grade, know the concept of career cluster of interest, which is in the 8th grade, complete an orientation to career clusters, know 1 or 2 career clusters for further exploration and development, which is in the 9th grade, revisit the career survey, revisit career clusters, complete an orientation course for a particular career cluster, create a resume and personal statement, which is in the 11th grade. Also participate in mock job interviews, which is in the 11th grade, because the Illinois WorkNet actually does have videos of mock interviews and how one can answer those questions. Essentially, they have a mock job interview itself in the platform, so that's pretty cool. And more. Moving on to the internship and summer jobs. So this lists different jobs and internship opportunities for students at Illinois companies across the state. So students can search by location if they're looking for an internship or summer job that's close to them. This tool does help meet or support the following PaCE benchmarks: identify an internship opportunity related to career pathway, attain internship opportunity related to the career pathway, attend a career exploration day, and visit at least one workplace aligned with career interests. Claim Your Future. So this is a financial literacy tool that students can play to learn about careers, post-secondary credentials, and money management skills. People can play this game either online or in person, but of course everyone has been playing it online since the pandemic. I only mention the in-person option also because ISAC does provide the physical game kit at no cost to schools in Illinois. You simply have to request one through the website. So I want to mention that in case anyone is meeting more regularly with groups of students. in person and are looking for a fun way to practice their money management skills. So at the beginning, students choose a career that they might be interested in, and with that comes information on their salary, post-secondary credential attainment, and possible student loan debt that relates to that career. So once they choose their career, they can navigate through different lifestyles, spending choices. Clean Your Future does provide additional resources like printable budget worksheets, an educator's guide that includes a detailed lesson plan and homework activities. They also include training videos on how to play the game, a certificate of completion. So you can also provide this to students when they complete the activity if you want to do it as a homework assignment. Essentially, they provide all the tools to be able to instruct your students on how to use it, and even provides homework activities or completion certificates to use it as a classroom assignment. So Claim Your Future does help meet or support the following PaCE benchmarks. Be exposed to a financial literacy unit in a course or workshop, which is in the 8th grade. Complete an orientation to career clusters, that's in the 9th grade, and know the educational requirements, cost, expected entry level, and midpoint salary for occupations and selected career pathway, which is in the 10th grade. Moving on to Capex. So this is an online tool where students can create their own profiles to store their information, where they can find and compare colleges and also figure out their chances of admission at different institutions that are of interest to them. As a tip, when using or sharing this tool with your students, you'll want to let them know that they should create their profile using the URL, the www.capex.com /ISAC. We highly recommend that a student uses the /ISAC URL for 2 reasons. So one, it does do ad free, so students will not see any ads throughout the website. And also no communication with proprietary schools. So students will not receive messages or alerts from for-profit schools. So we always want to push the /ISAC URL. So once a student has created their profile, which usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes, they can start using this resource and save the colleges they're interested in and start looking into their cost of attendance, the majors, the campus climate, and more. And they can compare each institution against each other. The PaCE benchmarks that the college search portion of Capex helps meet and support includes know different types of post-secondary credentials and institutions, which is in the 10th grade. Know 3 to 5 match schools, 1 safety, 1 read school, 4 post-secondary programs of study, which is in the 11th grade. Know the general cost ranges of various post-secondary options, which is in the 9th grade, and know the estimated cost of post-secondary options, which is in the 12th grade. Another piece of the Capex tool is the scholarship search section. This part of the resource helps match students with possible scholarships based on the information they shared on their student profile, which may include their GPA, their grade level, standardized test scores like SAT, ACT, religious affiliations, first-gen status, majors that they're interested in, and more. This scholarship search portion of college Capex helps me and support the following PaCE benchmarks. Know financial aid deadlines for chosen post-secondary options, which is in the 11th grade. Know the terms and conditions for any scholarship or loan, which is in the 12th grade. The next resource that we'll explore is the college checklist that can be found on the ISAC student portal. This tool helps students look ahead and remember what steps they need to take at each grade level to apply for college and financial aid. The college checklist is broken down by grade levels from freshman to senior year and has college-related tasks that students should complete by the end of each year. Next to the checklist items, there are recommended deadlines of when students should complete each item. Students can save their progress on the student portal as long as they have created an account. So the college checklist helps meet or support the following PaCE benchmarks. Complete a unit on educational planning and meet with a school counselor to ensure all steps in the post-secondary admissions process are completed on time. We also have the financial aid game tool. This helps students financial aid. This is a financial aid game for students. This is a fun resource that can be used in the classroom as well, or with a small group of students as a small fun activity. It has 2 levels of difficulty. It does have Financial Aid 101 and Advanced Financial Aid. So this resource helps me and support the following PaCE benchmark. Be exposed to a financial literacy unit in a course or workshop, which is in the 8th grade. We also have the financial aid comparison worksheet. This allows students to compare up to 3 award letters at a time. Students can either print out a blank document or complete it online. This worksheet can help students calculate out-of-pocket cost and give a better understanding of the components with financial aid offers, like cost of attendance, gift aid, federal work study, student loan aid, and remaining financial need. The benchmark this resource supports are in the 12th grade. That is, attend a financial aid award letter workshop and know the estimated cost of each post-secondary option. The Federal Student Aid Estimator provides students with an early estimate of what their federal student aid could be by using some initial data provided by the student, including parent and student adjusted gross income and more. This tool does come from the U.S. Department of Education, and it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to complete. So it is a quick way for students to find out early on an estimate of their expected family contribution, or EFC, and eligibility for federal student aid. This tool helps me and support the following PaCE benchmark. Complete a financial aid assessment with a family member, which is in the 9th grade. There's also the MAP estimator. So this is a tool available for students who are planning to attend a college in Illinois. Students can use the MAP estimator to get an idea of their eligibility for the Illinois Monetary Award Program, or MAP grant. To use this tool, students will need to know expected family contribution, which they can get by using the Federal Student Aid Estimator or the EFC that was calculated for them when they completed their FAFSA. So students can compare up to 3 Illinois higher education institutions to see what MAP grant they would receive. The Monetary Award Program Estimator helps meet and support the following PaCE benchmark. Complete a financial aid assessment with a family member, which is in the 9th grade. So moving on to the ISAT Core. So if you haven't heard about the ISAT Core, I am glad you're here because I love the core. It is comprised of recent college graduates that have been trained extensively in financial aid and the college going process. ISAT Core representatives partner with high schools and community-based organizations in order to mentor students through the college going process that they just completed themselves. Core members offer a variety of services ranging from a number of presentations to FAFSA workshops to one-on-one assistance. Presentations and workshops that the ISAT Core do hits PaCE benchmarks in all of the PaCE domains, including post-secondary education, exploration, preparation and selection, and financial aid and literacy, and career exploration and development. We will specifically go over some presentations and workshops that help meet and support PaCE benchmarks in the next following slides. But overall, the ISAT Core helps meet the following PaCE benchmark. That is, identify 2 to 3 adults to support the student through post-secondary and career selection process. So if you don't know who your local ISAT Core member is, we do have ISAT Core members stationed all over the state of Illinois. So you'll want to get in contact with your local ISAT Core member, which you can find by going to the ISAT student portal and go to the ISAT Core tab. It will look like this, which the screen, what's on this slide. You will want to enter your zip code, and the nearest core member's contact information will be generated and provided to you. You can email them or call them to start setting up ISAT Core services for your school and students. Now we will talk about the presentations that the ISAT Core members can do at schools or organizations to help students on the college going process. Let's start with College is Possible presentation. This presentation outlines the college and financial aid process in general terms, lays down groundwork for what to expect with the college going process, and provides tips and tools students and parents can use to learn more about planning, applying, and paying for post-secondary education. This presentation helps meet the following PaCE benchmarks. Complete a unit on education education planning, and know the relationship between high school coursework, attendance, and grades to post-secondary plans. The next presentation is Welcome to High School. This presentation introduces 8th graders, freshmen, and sophomores to the importance of high school and how to make the most of it to prepare for college. Students will learn the important basic information about college, as well as how they can prepare for college academically, socially, and behaviorally during high school. This presentation helps meet the following PaCE benchmarks. Complete a unit on education planning, know the relationship between community service and extracurricular activities and post-secondary and career goals, and the relationship between high school coursework, attendance, and grades to post-secondary plans, among others. Moving on to the college application process presentation. This helps students learn the ins and outs of the college application process, including typical components of college application, the timeline and logistics of the college application process, and basic financial aid information. Students will also learn about helpful resources they can use to prepare for standardized tests, often required for college admissions. This presentation helps meet and support the following PaCE benchmarks. Know the importance of community service and extracurricular activities to post-secondary and career plans. Know the general timing of post-secondary entrance exams and applications. Know the entrance requirements, including application deadlines for expected post-secondary programs of study. And know 3 to 5 match goals, 1 safety, 1 reach school for post-secondary programs of study. For the college application workshop, ISAT Core members will assist students with completing college applications to the colleges of their choice. We do encourage schools to work with the ISAT Core members to also hold other virtual activities prior to the workshop, so that students are able to successfully submit a completed application during the school-wide workshop. This workshop helps meet and support the following PaCE benchmark: complete 3 or more admission applications to post-secondary institutions. The College 101 presentation covers detailed information about various post-secondary options and why it is important to start thinking about life after high school. Topics that are included are the types of colleges and how to research colleges, college match, and importance of college visits, among other topics. This presentation helps meet and support some of the following PaCE benchmarks: attend post-secondary option workshops, different types of post-secondary credentials and institutions, and affordability of post-secondary options in relation to expected entry-level career salary and anticipated debt. The All About Scholarships presentation provides an introduction to the process of applying for scholarships, addresses the basic of a scholarship application, along with tips on how to submit a successful application. It is designed to flexibly integrate high school resources while informing students of reputable sources of information. So this presentation helps me and support be exposed to a financial literacy unit in a course or workshop, and know the terms and conditions of any scholarship or loan. The financial aid process presentation outlines the general financial aid process and provides insight on how financial aid works, how to apply for it, students' eligibility, and how it can be used to help pay for college. It does introduce the free application for federal student aid, FAFSA, along with summarizing state and federal aid programs, among other topics. This presentation helps me and support the following PaCE benchmarks: be exposed to a financial literacy unit in a course or workshop, general cost ranges of various post-secondary options, attend a post-secondary affordability workshop with a family member, and different types of post-secondary credentials and institutions. The financial aid application completion workshop is a workshop where students will be able to get questions answered to complete either the FAFSA or the alternative application for Illinois financial aid, or the alternative application. This is intended for qualifying undocumented or transgender students. These are the forms used to apply for financial aid, such as the federal Pell Grant and or the Illinois Monetary Award Program, MAP. Many colleges also use these forms to consider students for institutional money. So we do recommend students and parents to create also an FSA ID prior to the workshop to expedite the submission of the FAFSA. This workshop helps me and support the following PaCE benchmark: attend a FAFSA completion workshop and complete the FAFSA. There's also a FSA ID workshop with which is a workshop where students will be given information on how to obtain an FSAD, and an ISAT Core member will be available to assist them through the process, answer individual questions, and troubleshoot any issues. This is very important as the FSAD is required for an individual to sign a FAFSA electronically and to electronically transfer tax information to the FAFSA. By using an FSA ID, it does increase data entry accuracy and can expedite the completion and submission of a FAFSA. This workshop helps me and support the following PaCE benchmark. Complete the FAFSA. The Managing College Cost presentation helps get students thinking about their college budget. Topics include how to plan your college financing, as well as strategies for saving money without losing out on academic opportunities. Increasing a student's financial base, scholarships, and work on campus are also discussed. This presentation helps me and support the following PaCE benchmarks. Be exposed to a financial literacy unit in a course or workshop, attend a post-secondary affordability workshop with a family member. The path of the FAFSA presentation outlines what to expect on the FAFSA, information to include in the form, how the FAFSA is used to determine financial aid eligibility, and how to read a financial award letter. This presentation helps me and support the PaCE benchmarks, which are on this slide. And also there is a FAFSA follow-up presentation, which addresses what happens after a FAFSA is completed, including student aid report, completing the verification process, using the IRS data retrieval tool, viewing aid reward letters, and more. And then there is the Claim Your Future. This is an online interactive activity that encourages exploration of education and training after high school, future careers, and money management. An ISAT Core member will provide an overview of the interactive tool, how to use it, and facilitate the activity with a group of students. Also, the benchmarks that it helps meet and support are also on this slide. It looks like we have a couple of minutes, so let me just double check on the chat to see if we have any questions through the chat. Just give me 1 minute.
Hey, Jasmine, just because we're at 12:59, just know that I did answer all of the questions on the chat.
Wonderful, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Wonderful, thank you. So then that we want to thank you all for spending time out of your day and attending the 60 by 25 conference and attending our session on the purpose of PaCE and resources available to help implement PaCE. If you have any questions on anything covered in today's presentation, please email us at isaac.pace@illinois.gov, and we would be more than happy to help you in any way that we can. As a reminder, a recording of this session and a copy of the PowerPoint will be posted to the conference website shortly after the conference. This concludes the session. Thank you, everyone, and hope you all enjoy the rest of the conference.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.